Okay, John Flanagan, you have a comment?
Thank you. Yeah, I do. I guess so. These are private organizations. They happen to use our fields. I have a question. If there's another league that's willing to do all of the background checks, sign a contract, etc., will they be allowed to use the field?
No, not enough room. You talk about football? No, not enough room. There's no way you could coordinate that. This league is already working with Fort Knox, with several other counties, because that's who they have to work with in order to get games scheduled. That's already being done. There's no room in our fields to go beyond what we're doing.
Did the old field, the old football league, did they refuse to comply with the new rules? Said they're not going to, we're just not going to, we're going to ignore that.
John, there's no leadership left in the old league because the president, the vice president, and the secretary treasurer didn't think it was important enough for them to undergo a background check. Therefore, as the executive of this city, with the power I think is invested to me by statute, I disqualified them and would not recognize them.
But the league is more than just those three people.
No, this league is gone. This league has had too many problems, and you don't have very many families who want to be a part of it anymore.
I don't disagree with having folks that have, recent felonies or those kinds of things. But we have, Councilman Palmer here is working with the state about, felons. You're a felon when you're 17 years old. Should you be punished for that when you're 65?
Again,
I've already covered that. I think we're covering that.
We're working on guidelines right now that would be very fair. And it's recognized by a national group for sports committee, so it would be very fair and recognize people who do change.
So then some of these folks in the old league that have
Very few,
I didn't finish my question.
yeah,
Are you reading mine tonight?
very few of them would be eligible. If that's your question, based upon how recent their felonies were.
Actually, there were 19 that were flagged.
Yeah.
That's 40% of the number that were submitted. And 11 of those were felons, and there's no way that anybody, any reasonable person, would give them another chance. But there are 8 more who had misdemeanors, and I think a board would look at them, and probably half of them or more would be reinstated.
Okay, but somebody looked at the context of when these felony arrests were made and those kind of things.
How about as late as August of last year while they was coaching the kids?
How about all of them? I mean, I've taken a look at all of them.
Yeah,
I don't know any of them at all.
Right, and I know very few of them myself, to be
There are
honest.
no names associated with it.
Right, yeah, we can't.
Not going to do that.
So long as the, the context was considered on that and they're eligible to coach in a new league, that would be fine. There's a process on it.
They are. There's a process, and they're all welcome to come to the new league. And this is not new. The Radcliff leagues have started over again before. This is not the first time this has happened.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I've been around long enough.
Yeah.
Although, I'm not out there on the ball fields anymore, or the soccer fields anymore. I have been in the past, but I gave that up. So I understand the changes in the league and what happens when you have leadership changes in a volunteer organization. You're gonna ride that roller coaster a little bit. But I think that's up to the private citizens and the private organizations to kind of sort of police it. And so long as they meet the requirements, then the city shouldn't have to worry about it. Thank you for taking my question.
Okay.
I guess we have a whole new set of rules about who can speak at city council meetings and for how long. Thank you.
Yes.
What do you mean by that, John? Because you just got up and spoke the second time.
What I mean is that we've gone through this thing about if you want to speak, you have to sign up ahead of time, and then you have 3 to 5 minutes, or 10 if you like it, and there's not supposed to be anybody cheering or reacting to that. And it seems to me tonight that so long as the reaction of the audience sort of is favorable to the presiding officer, it's allowed.
John?
If it's the other way, they kind of sort of shut it down.
John, I appreciate all your comments, but I don't think that this chief executive could do anything at all that would please you, so.
Actually, that's not true.